Thanks for your time this evening. Hey, that first half, well, actually, the first, second, and third quarter, your defense did a really good job with kind of keeping WAP in check, keeping Fillier in check as well. What happened on that last drive, the 7-play, 75-yard drive that they had near the end? What do you think kind of happened with breakdowns of the defense?
I think some guys may have, I honestly don't know. I couldn't honestly tell you because I don't know how they did that. We were holding them up and for them to, go down there and drive on us like that, it caught us all by surprise, and we were just looking around at each other like we got to do something. So I honestly couldn't even tell you.
Lamont, thank you for that answer. Gabe, do you have a question for Lamont?
Yeah, thanks, Lamont, for the time right now. So Indiana was able to total 36 points, but they only totaled 211 yards. So what are some of the things the defense did well? What are some of the things you guys need to improve on?
I feel like we played hard. I feel like we played with a lot of effort, played with a lot of physicality. But we made one too many mistakes that either we were out of line, either we out leveraged or whatever, and those they come back to bite you even if it's one in these close games like that. So did we make a lot of mistakes? No, but the ones we did make hurt us.
Lamont, thank you for that very honest answer. Dave Eckert, do you have a question?
Yeah, Lamont, thanks for your time today. I wanted to ask you about Jessie Lucada. Did you kind of feel a shift when he was disqualified there, and how does that impact you moving into next week, knowing he's not going to be able to play in the first half?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like that was a fumble recovery. That was a takeaway we had, and I feel like honestly that right there, that takeaway right there, it kind of would have took that momentum out of him and kind of swung it in the momentum in our way. But with him being ejected and them getting the ball back, they kind of juiced up on that momentum and, rode with it. So it's a next man up mentality. Whoever's next up got to perform up to the standard. They don't have no choice. So,
Lamont, thank you for that. Evan Patrick will come to you next for a question.
Hey, thanks for your time, Lamont. I was wondering what was going through your mind on that 4th and long where you make the big hit over on the sideline. Just what was the defense's mindset after that play?
We stayed on these guys' hips, and he tried to say that I was about to do a targeting call or something. I just didn't want him to catch it, so I tried to hit him as hard as I could, make sure he don't got the ball in his hands.
Just as a reminder for everyone, for anyone who's just joined us, please use the raise your hand feature if you have any questions for Lamont. We'll come back to Elton Hayes for a question.
Hey, Laura, this was obviously your first game, your teammates' first game playing with the new circumstances, just, small amount of fans in the stand. What was it like, being in that environment? And do you think that energy, were you able not to feed off of that energy, or what was it kind of like playing under these new circumstances?
But we established at the beginning of this week that these new circumstances aren't going to be a factor. So I don't feel like those played a factor in anything at all, not one single part of the game. Like I said, we made some mistakes that put us in a bad place, and that's what, put us ultimately hurting ourselves all game. That's what put us in that bad spot. So I don't think it was much of the new circumstances or anything.
Could I follow that up with a question, Rose?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, go ahead, sir.
Joey Porter Jr., had some really good plays out there today. You were playing alongside of him back there in the secondary. What were your early impressions of his first game starting?
Yeah, no, I told guys, I think last week that I was a Joey Porter fan. The kid could ball, and just having a 6'2", 6'3" corner is all over the receivers at all times is a blessing for me at safety. Is a blessing for me in the slot. So I appreciate that and how hard Joey played.
Thank you,
Mark Brennan. Let's come to you next.
Hey, Lamont, I'm sorry I jumped on this a little bit late, but can you take us through the final play? And it looked like you were hanging around down where the replay area was and seemed to think that it was going to go in your favor. Can you just kind of take us from the play to how going through that and the way things played out for you? Thank you.
Yeah, we just let the quarterback get outside of that box, and then whenever he went to do that, Brisker was hunting down, pursuing him, and it looked like the ball was out of bounds before it touched the pylon or out of his hands or both, possibly both. But yeah. So
Nubias, let's bring it over to you. Please, just a reminder, we're going to let Lamont go after another question or two. So Nubias has got the last question right now, unless we've got anyone else.
Lamont, is it like a team effort to console Devin on scoring that touchdown when you're up 21-20 there at the end? Just kind of let him know, hey, man, it's okay. We'll get it back together.
Not really. I mean, like I said, we made a bunch of mistakes all game. We made mistakes in the first quarter. We made mistakes in the second quarter. We made mistakes in the third quarter. We made mistakes in the fourth. That's not the only mistake we made. That's not, So I made mistakes. I dropped the ball. I dropped the ball on the kick return, put us in a bad position. I kind of got rubbed on that last play, and they got a little step on me. So it's stuff we all got to correct. Like I said.
2 more questions. We'll go to Mark Brennan and then Audrey Schneider, and we'll thank Lamont for his time. So 2 more questions.
Lamont, you touched on it. Can you take us through the kickoff? It looked like there was maybe a little bit of uncertainty, or you bobbled the ball. What happened there? And did you ever think just, hey, let it go into the end zone?
It was my first time back there. I started looking ahead too early. I got too excited. And that's on me. You know what I mean? I can't do that. I thought I recovered the ball. I thought the ball fell in front of me, and it dropped outside of the end zone. I was still in the end zone. I could have taken a knee. So that's all on me. I gotta get that right.